Hello everyone, welcome back to Shred Guitar in the 80s. Today's going to be a fun day. We're going to look at some long, cascading, descending legato lines. These lines are going to start at the 14th position in the key of A minor, and we're going to work all the way down to the first position. We're also going to take a look at the new dive bomb reissue by the band Chastain. It's the incredible Mystery of Illusion that was released in 1985 on Shrapnel Records. Just an American metal classic. It's just a great album. I've always loved this album, and this reissue is just incredible. And it features the mighty Leather on vocals and the incredible David T Chastain on guitar, one of my early guitar heroes from the Shrapnel era. So let's get started. As I've talked about on my channel here, 1985 was just an incredible year for me guitar-wise, in terms of my development and what I was listening to. There were so many incredible guitar albums released during that period. Around 1985. You had the Rising Force and Marching Out albums come out. The Amazing Thunder in the East with Akira Takasaki. That album just blew me away. You also had Alan Holdsworth release some incredible albums that year. Warren DeMartini was just kicking ass in Rat, and George Lynch was kicking ass in Dokken. You also had a lot of just amazing music being released on independent record labels, some just amazing guitar playing on Shrapnel Records. And Shrapnel Records was just a huge influence on me. I can't state enough just what an impact all the guitar players on that label had. In 1985, you had two really prominent guitar players come on the scene and release stuff through Shrapnel Records. You had Vinnie Moore with the band Vicious Rumors, and he released Soldiers of the Night. And that album was just a huge influence on me. I sat around and just tried to learn those Vinnie Moore lines and try to get that down. His playing was so clean. And the other one is one I'm going to talk about a little later, and that was David T Chastain. On Mystery of Illusion, the Shrapnel Records album Mystery of Illusion, with the band Chastain. And he also released this killer album with the band CJSS. And that album was called World Gone Mad. And World Gone Mad was just a huge one for me also. The first song was called Hell on Earth. And it started out with this killer drum beat and went into this just amazing descending long line that David played that just had a huge impact on me. And David's style is really cool. He does a lot of double picking and this kind of glissando slides and stuff, just amazing. In order for me to cop that, I kind of went more legato to get that sound. And legato playing at that time was really what I could do. I was getting my picking chops down, but I didn't really quite have it yet. I was just playing all my Yngwie licks. I didn't really have my mechanics together. But my left hand I really developed playing all those Warren DeMartini lines, pretending I was Alan Holdsworth. George Lynch was another one. Mark St. John, the album he released with Kiss, Animalize, he did some really cool stuff. But Chastain was kind of like that sound, that really smooth sound is something I wanted to get. Just that flowing down the neck, cascading notes. And really the first lick that I learned from that era that was similar to that a lot of players play. I think initially Vivian Campbell was the guy I copped it from. Then I heard Mark St. John play it, and Warren play it, and David T Chastain played it, and he played it in a really cool way. So if I'm playing in A harmonic minor, the notes would go like this. I kind of pull up the first three notes, and then I just hammer back to the note I played prior, and then pull off and then slide down, go back, pull off, slide down, so it goes like this. David T Chastain played that on songs like Hell on Earth and Ruler of the Wasteland. It was really cool, and it caught my ear, and I tried to develop some lines using that kind of lick. One thing that's really important to practice with your legato lines is the pulse, feeling the pulse in your playing, and playing the lines as a rhythm instead of just kind of floating around, which is really easy to do with legato playing. So I'm going to show you a lick here that you can kind of practice and try to get like a sextuplet feel going using legato lines. This one falls into the fingers real easily, and it's in the key of A minor, and it's descending triplets, descending sextuplets. It goes like this. So here's what I'm doing. In this lick, basically everything is either hammered or pulled off, except when I go to a higher string and when I start the lick. It goes like this. That. It's in the key of A minor, and it's all hammer and pull-offs except when you're going to a higher string. So anytime you go to lower string, you're hammering. It's 15, pull off to 13, pull off to 12. 13, pull off to 12, slide to 10. 12, pull off to 10, slide to 8. 10, pull off to 8, slide to 7. Then you have 8, pull off to 7, hammer to the second string, 10. And then you're going to go up on the first string. Then you're going to hammer on 10, pull off to 8, hammer back to 10, pull off to 8, pull off to 6, hammer to 8, pull off to 6, slide to 5. Hammer back to 6, pull off to 5, then hammer on to the third string, 7th fret, the third finger without picking. You're going to do an upstroke on 5 on the second string. Then we're going to pull off 7, 5, hammer back to 7, pull off to 5, slide to 4, hammer to 5, pull off to 4 on the third string. Hammer 7 on the fourth string without picking. And we go up on 4th fret of the third string. Then on the fourth string we hammer 7 again without picking. And we're going to play 7, pull off to 5, hammer to 7, pull off to 5, pull off to 3, hammer to 5, pull off to 3. Slide to 2, hammer to 3, pull off to 2, hammer to 5 on the 5th string without picking. Then we're going to go up on 2 on the 4th string. Then we're going to hammer to 5 on the 5th string without picking, pull off to 3, hammer to 5, pull off to 3, pull off to 2. Hammer back to 3, pull off to 2. Hammer to 5 on the 6th string without picking. And we're going to go up on 2 on the 5th string, then hammer on 5 without picking on the 6th string, pull off to 3, and then you can pick the last note if you want. 1985 was also a monumental year for me because it's the first time I heard Shrapnel records. After Steeler, the next release I got from Shrapnel was the incredible Chastain Mystery of Illusion. And this album I can't say enough about. I think this might be my favorite album, metal album from that era. And this album's just been released on Dive Bomb Records. I talked about the CJSS albums and how much those meant to me. Well, this one was right there with it. David T Chastain was a huge influence on me. I mean, he played a Kramer Pacer. He was very neoclassical influenced, also very fusion influenced. He had a real fluid style, a really unique way of phrasing, wrote great songs. And the band is killer on this. You had like Fred Corey, who would go on to join Cinderella on drums, Mike Skimmerhorn on bass, who also played in CJSS. He had the amazing Leather on vocals, one of the best metal vocalists of all time. And the amazing David T Chastain on guitar. Like I said, he played this red Kramer Pacer. Such a fluid style, and his phrasing was really free. And you can hear like fusion elements in it, but you could also hear like bluesy elements and really cool scale use, neoclassical kind of scale use. And Dave was very influenced by a lot of different things. And if you listen to his discography, you can hear he goes in a lot of different directions. But he's just so good at everything, all these different styles. The songs in this album are just amazing. You have the Black Knight, one of my favorite metal songs from this era. The doom kind of gothic Night of the Gods with just a killer riff. I actually saw Chastain in concert in 1988 at a club in Cleveland, and it's one of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was for the Voice of the Cult tour, and Dave just was amazing. The whole band was just amazing, and they played that song. I just remember standing on the stage with my fists in the air, and Dave gave me a guitar pick afterwards, so it was really cool. Every song on here is just great. You have a couple demos also, Mystery of Illusion and The Winds of Change, which are kind of demos from that period, which are really a must listen to. You got I've Seen Tomorrow, Endlessly, I Fear No Evil, The Winds of Change, We Shall Overcome. Every song's just high quality with all sorts of cool musicianship, amazing vocals, cool kind of gothic lyrics. And the cool thing about these dive bomb reissues is that they have all sorts of cool photos from that era. And just looking back at this just takes me right back to that period. And it's so cool to go back through this album on and read all the interviews and look at all the press releases and record reviews from this era. There's a really killer picture of David with his Kramer Pacer Special. I just love that guitar. I used to stare in the back of the album covers and wish I had it. I loved it because it was like a Beretta style with the one pickup, but it was before the Beretta, and it had a maple neck, and the Berettas had rosewood necks like this, and I just was in love with maple necks at the time because Yngwie played maple and so did Eddie Van Halen. And David used the Gibson Lab amps with this Kramer, and it sounded amazing, just a brilliant sound. I can't say enough about the Chastain tone from that era. This book also has really cool articles from the era. I remember seeing a lot of these articles in the magazines because I would buy all the underground magazines and anything I could with metal and guitar I would buy. And I remember reading some of these articles that really takes me back. Just an amazing record that I still love to listen to today. I've listened to it probably 5 times since I've gotten it. And I just enjoy it so much. And like I said, David's playing was so unique. His phrasing and everything was so unique that every time I hear it a little bit different. And he plays so different to me. I love listening to him because it's amazing. Dive Bombs just did a fantastic job on this album. It's just so cool that I can have this in my collection with these booklets. I'm going to talk about some of the other Dive Bomb releases in the future. I know that Greg Howe is putting out the How To album on Dive Bomb. And Apocrypha is doing one also. 2 really cool bands, shrapnel artists. And also there's another Chastain one that I'll be talking about also. So what else can I say? 1985, an amazing year. Hearing Aid, you had the Yngwie Malmsteen Rising Force and Marching Out albums, the really cool Thunder and East with Akira Takasaki. And my RS Stray Cat that I jammed on the whole year of 1985, playing all those Yngwie licks and trying to play all the neoclassical stuff. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more of this. I really have fun talking about all the players from the era and covering this genre. And if you haven't, please do. Thanks a lot for joining me and have fun picking.